One of them that has to do with rebuking the devourer. God said, when you tithe, I will rebuke the devourer. He didn't say you will do it. The reason is that you can cheat God, eat his money, and still rebuke the devourer. That means what Adam would have done is eat that forbidden fruit and still take over the garden.
Welcome to Dominion Mandate, a platform where we awaken a deep hunger for the pursuit of God and equip believers to dominate their world for Christ. Here, we dive into the Word of God, explore timeless truths, and ignite a passion for spiritual growth, purpose, and kingdom influence. This is not just another channel, it's a movement.
Because you see that particular covenant, it has 7 blessings that go with it. You can listen to your modern preachers, listen to whoever you like. That's your own business. You can't talk me out of it. And all of you that are listening, you are paying. Sometimes it's no more the 10% you have to pay. Some of you are paying 70, some are paying 50, some are paying 90. Because these are the problems you open up in your life. You think you are wiser than Colgate, that created Colgate company, that started in New York like a soap making factory and started tithing. And the thing took him. And then when he saw the blessings, he moved it to 20. Where did Colgate stop? Is that you can Google it, it's on the internet. You think you're wiser than what's this man that founded that at one time their family was printing the US currency? Rockefeller. You think you're wiser than Rockefeller? At one time he was the wealthiest man on earth. 10%. When he saw what he was doing, his story and testimony is on the internet. Go and Google it. And he moved it to 20. He moved it. God so blessed. If you see how many universities he built, how many churches he sponsored, because of what the pioneer, just like descendants of Abraham. At one time, one man was controlling almost all the oil business globally. He can sponsor war. I'm talking about world war. He has the money. You think you're wiser than them? Or these are your modern preachers that are teaching you Confucian. Some are turning the Bible upside down. You think it's a 21st century phenomenon? You are wiser than Idahosa, that even took his own. He said, God, okay, that's a child that was born sick, that was thrown away in a dustbin in Benin. Because the father, they knew that he was not going to survive. They threw him away. The mother now escaped later, took him and ran to her place and said, at least he has not died. When he dies, we now bury him. But now to throw him alive. And that boy survived and became a preacher, a boy preacher, as a young man. Piloting took him and mentored him. When he read this document on Tithe, he said, how can the employer, the owner, give the people 90 and say, bring me back 10? Will you do it? If you set up a business, will you give your people, the people who work for you, 90 of your profit and keep 10? No. God kept 10. That 10 is what you are still fighting over. What is wrong? If you see Genesis chapter 3, he said to Adam, of all the trees, please put it up, let them say, of every tree in the garden you will eat. The only one I kept for me is one tree. One! Eat all! I've never seen that type of person. Only one. But the day you now cross this boundary, you will die. What did Satan do? It is that one that God keeps on himself. He will be pushing people, pushing you. 10% again. In the house I said, no, I will reverse it. I'll be giving you 90. I will be keeping 10 because, and God made him the greatest preacher that rose from Africa. Yet he was coming from the bottom line. At that time, when Pentecostal churches were mushroom, the man is building cathedral, built a stadium and roofed it. You can see 30-something thousand people. We'll go there, be wondering, what is this? Is it not the same God we are serving? Did you pay the same price? He is one that opened the Pentecostal world now to this level we are in. First African man preacher to fly a jet. Copeland gave it to him. What is it about him that attracted it when other people can't? Built universities, built hospitals. At one time, I'm forgetting how many schools they said he built. What about 900? I'm not sure. God, he said God now made that 10 he chose to keep. more than, because that's what God says. He says, since you decided to honor me like this, that 10 you chose to keep, I will make it more than the 100 of all your colleagues in ministry. And that's what God did. So it is that 10. That's what all your confusion is all about again. What's wrong with people? There's somebody who pushes an Eve to go after what God said is a boundary. And now they lost the whole garden. And in these hardships that is coming, and it's just beginning, the last days is where we are. If you don't want financial shelter, if you don't want, there are two orders of priesthood in the whole Bible. One is the Levitical order, that's Old Testament, Aaron and his descendants. That is the priesthood that worked with the Old Testament law. And so when the old covenant was folded up, that was removed. There was another priesthood that was in existence long before Aaronic order came in. It's Melchizedek order. It is that priestly order that was brought forward in the New Testament. I want you guys to listen very carefully. That order is built after the principle of endless life, because the high priest does not die. So it's not like this other one where people die, you change them, you ordain a new bishop. You know how it is when a bishop dies. No, the high priest does not die. He lives forever. It has 5 elements with which you can easily spot it out. It is the Melchizedek order that brought communion into existence. When Abraham met him in Genesis 14, he served him communion. So it's not Jesus that invented communion, because Jesus is a high priest after the order of Melchizedek. You and I are priests after the order of Melchizedek. You need to understand this. That order introduced communion. So that's why Jesus served it to himself. That's why we're doing it today. Watch. Second element about that order, the salvation and justification is by faith, not by works. So that Abraham, who submitted to the Melchizedek order, was not justified by works, by the law. The Bible says Abraham believed God, his faith was made to him righteousness. That's why today when you give your life to Christ, you're justified, your sins are washed, that by faith we are saved today. It is not Jesus inventing it. It is the order that is already established. He's just reinforcing it for the New Testament. In that order, a priest is both a priest and a king. I want you to take note of that. In the Aaronic order, you're either a priest or you can't find anybody from the kingly dumbling into the priestly office. Neither will you find anybody from the priestly office dumbling into the kingly office. For example, one king tried it. His name is Hosea. So the introduction of the book of Isaiah chapter 6 said, in the year that Hosea died, I saw the Lord. That is a king. So when you go to the book of Kings, you will see him. The Bible said this man did what was right in the sight of God. He was a righteous king that ruled well. He made one mistake. One day he ventured into the office of the priesthood, took incense that only the priests offer, and walked into the temple of God to go and offer it. And the priests accosted him and told him, this will not end well. You are violating a boundary. Don't do it. He ignored them and walked in. As he was waving this, a leprosy struck him. And he became a leper. They carried him out and took him to the leper's camp. He stayed there till he died. Yet he was a good king. Okay, for example, you will see the first king of Israel. What's his name? Saul. There was war. The Philistines had gathered. He was waiting for Samuel the priest to come and offer sacrifices so he can go to war. But Samuel delayed in his coming. So what did Saul do? He took the animal and offered. Just about the time he was doing it, Samuel arrived. Do you know what Samuel announced? The kingdom is now taken away from you because you have violated you disobeyed the Lord. Look at, he didn't commit murder, he didn't commit adultery, he just did priestly office so that they can win a battle. And he was removed from office as a king. Things went bad. You don't cross it. But then in the Melchizedek order, Melchizedek is a priest of the Most High and king of Salem. The first king that ruled Jerusalem is Jerusalem. He was king of that city and a priest. That's why today Jesus is our high priest. He's also king of kings. That's why the Bible said, I have made you what? Kings and priests unto our God. What was not possible under the old covenant, you can combine the office, because this new order has a new set of laws. You want to clap? Oh. Now listen, ladies and gentlemen. It is that same Melchizedek that met Abraham and took 10% of tithe from him. So why will you keep communion? Keep kings and priests. Keep salvation by faith. Then you go to the order and take away one of his ordinances. Who authorized you to do it? Okay, if tithing is wrong for the New Testament, Jesus now came as a priest under the Melchizedek order. What is his statement about it? Matthew 23:23. Watch. Because if he preaches against it, he will violate the order of priesthood under which he operates. Look at Matthew 23. Woe to you, scribes, Pharisees, hypocrites, for you pay tithe of mint, anise, cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law. What are the weightier matters? Things like judgment, things like mercy, things like faith, things like love. You can't, just because you give God money, you are violating his commandments. So what is his teaching? He said, these you ought to have done, and not to leave the order undone. Do this, but don't leave the tithing undone. Hey, give me another translation. What sorrow awaits you, teachers of religious law, you Pharisee, hypocrite, for you are careful to tithe even the tiniest income of your herb garden, but you ignore the more important aspect of the law, justice, mercy, and faith. You should tithe, yes, but do not neglect the more important things. Did he say remove it? This is Jesus. Who are you following? So if somebody is coming to this, you're a tither, you sleep with people's wives, you're involved in armed robbery, but in Sunday we see you here, you are violating the weightier matters. You are unjust, you are oppressive, you cheat people, you are violating the weightier matters. So we are correcting you. Get your moral values right, but still continue with your tithe. That's what Jesus is teaching here. So Hebrews chapter 7. Watch. If tithing is right in the New Testament, I just want you to see that. Watch. Melchizedek was king of the city of Salem. That's Jerusalem. He was also priest of the Most High. Did you see the two things I told you? Now what? He met Abraham returning from the slaughter of kings and blessed him. Verse 2. Verse 2. To whom also Abraham did what? Gave 10th part of all. That's what you call tithe. When you get your income, give 10% to God. First, being by interpretation king of righteousness, after that also king of Salem, which is king of peace. Verse 3. He is without father, without mother, without descent, having neither beginning of days nor end of life, but made like the Son of God, abided the priest continually. Just watch. Verse 4. Now, consider how great this man is. Talking about Melchizedek, to whom Abraham gave the 10th of the spoil. Verse 5. I want you to now see, he compares the priest under the Levitical order and priesthood under the New Testament. I want you to watch what he did here. Verily, they that are the sons of Levi, who receive the office of the priest, have command to take tithes of the people. This Old Testament, according to the law. That is, they take tithe of their brethren, even though they come from the loins of Abraham. All these people tithing are Abraham's seed, though, but they have to give tithe to the priest. That's Old Testament. But now watch verse 6. But he whose descent is not counted from them received tithe of Abraham. Melchizedek is not from the Levitical tribe. You know the 12 tribes of Israel, the tribe of Levi. The place is king is Judah. Judah are the ones that have Jerusalem. That's where David, Jesus, all these people are. That's the territory. He's not even from their lineage, but he is the one collecting tithe from Abraham and blessed in that had the promise. So verse 7 said, watch. Without contradiction, the less is blessed of the greater. Verse 8. Please, so that once and for all, you won't say you don't know. Let it be disobedience. Here, that is in the Levitical order. Men that die receive tithe. That's in the Old Testament. There, he received them of whom it is witness that he does what? Who is that person that lives forever, that is our high priest today? Who is the person? I know you bring it to his body. The church is his body, the institution he placed on it to advance his cause. But the Bible said it is him that is receiving it. Bible said the time came in Israel. everybody did what was right in his own eyes because there was no teaching priest to clear this and make it clear to people. This thing has to do with priesthood, and there are two order. Say with me. We in the New Testament. Say where we in the New Testament were under the order of Melchizedek, not under the order of the Levites. Even in the Levitical order, men that die, they keep changing them around because of death, receive tithe of the children of Israel. Here, the one that lives forever receives them. And that's why if you look at the 7 rewards that come with it, one of them that has to do with rebuking the devourer. God said, when you tithe, I will rebuke the devourer. He didn't say you will do it. The reason is that you can cheat God, eat his money, and still rebuke the devourer. That means what Adam would have done is eat that forbidden fruit and still take over the garden. God said, no, I will rebuke the devourer for your sake. So when you don't, I will let him loose. So you will eat up your labor so that you will learn. I don't care, I don't even understand. We are the light of the world. We are the one to educate the society, educate the world. When is it now society educating the church? Because of some guys making noise on social media. Let me even tell you, it doesn't even stop with 10th. A lot of other responsible people, after God bless them, it's not just giving God 10. They think about another 10 for giving back to society, for using it for social work, for impacting the poor, for doing a lot of good work. This is at the level you should grow into. And I always teach our people, you can't start with a second 10, start with a second 5. Have a plan for the kingdom, have a plan for the poor and the needy. Every genuine Christian must be involved in some form of social project or social intervention or the other. Even companies are expected to do it. It's called giving back to society. You're making money from a place. So they have that corporate social responsibility budget. And you will see the other side of life. A blessed life. A blessed 10 is better than a cost 90.